Hi, Sagittarius. I hope you guys are doing great today. I'm going to be bringing you your general messages for the 8th through the 22nd. I'm going to start with some astrology, just give a lay of the land. Then I'm going to go into a spread for a tarot spread having to do with money or career situation. Then a relationship read for those of you who are in a relationship. And then finally, a last one for those in separation. I'm going to timestamp below in the description box if you don't feel like hanging out for all of the different versions. These do go a little on the long side, so you could do a piecemeal if you choose. So let's start by addressing the lay of the land with the astrology. So there's a lot of focus for you during this time period, Sagittarius, for focusing on a creative project, something having to do with something that you've been hoping to manifest, wishing, something having to do with friends or this new group of people that you've been involved in, or some sort of new project that you're looking to launch. This transit really does focus a lot on associations and collaborations and networking. So I feel like this is going to be an incredibly busy month for you, but I do want to remind you that you are getting ready for your solar return. So don't be surprised if you're feeling a little low on energy, a little tired, where you maybe need to take a little step back, take a breather if you need to, because you are going to be asked to be involved in a lot of situations this month. A lot of invitations are going to be going on. There's going to be a huge demand on your time. And it's going to be mostly pleasant. It's not going to be a bad kind of busy. It's going to be good time, but good kind of busy. But you're going to have to pay special attention to making sure that you're really smart in managing your time effectively. Now, you might find yourself in some kind of leadership position. So this could have to do with either a group or an organization that you're a part of, or if you are trying to launch your own business or launch some sort of project, there's a lot of focus on you and your ideas being focused on as though you're the center, you're the ideas person, and you're very happy to be there. So it's going to be a good experience for you there. Now, Pluto, Saturn, Mercury, Jupiter, they're all going finally stationing direct. Thank God, after being retrograde. So you're going to feel this energy of just generally throughout your chart, decongestion. And it's not going to be like a slingshot. You're going to just feel this unknotting of energy slowly but surely, which is really, really nice. Now, there's going to be a strong sense of beginning anew, right? Mainly related to all of these 11th house things. So new friends, new associations, new collaborations. Some of you are going to be focusing on new ways of increasing your salary, some sort of new business, new relationships even as well, right? Because this is opposite the 5th house, but there's a lot of focus on new, and there are very palatable beginning steps involved here, though, with fulfilling some sort of long-term dream that you've had going on. So some sort of creative project, anything like that. Lots of focus on community and your place in the world. And the thing is, Venus is in your sign from the 7th on. So this is really nice because this is bringing a lot of special attention to you. And it's also encouraging you to be kinder to yourself. And so as October rolls out, as I mentioned, you might be feeling a little bit like, oh, I need a little alone time. I need to sort of cocoon myself. I need to heal. I need to catch my breath. I need, so say no to one or two of the invitations. It's okay to do that, right? Because there's going to be a lot asked of you. So if you need a little bit of private time, definitely take it. Now, Mars, listen to me, Mars is super assertive this month, and it's moving through your social area until the 30th. So, that there's going to be a lot of heightened awareness there. Again, lots of busyness. And then Mercury spends the month in that same sector, but it's retrograde until the 18th. And this Mercury retrograde can be pretty annoying for you, but I want to focus on saying, especially within this time period, I'm going to actually add the 7th. The 7th, 8th, and 9th can be very, very annoying when it comes to feeling like you're speaking a different language, like you're just not being understood, you're not being heard in the way that you would really like, or there could just be some sort of wonkiness. It could be annoying, just kind of some kind of wonkiness. It's not going to last. Just be very mindful of your limits. That's really important right now. Practical consideration or obligations may seem to slow you down, but fixing problems now can absolutely lead to something being rolling out much more smoothly and much more in your favor moving forward. So if you're feeling some sort of delay or restriction having to do with communication, it's good. This is a good thing. I was going to say it's destiny driven. I'm called to say that because I feel like it's going to start moving forward on the 18th, once Mercury and Jupiter both come out of retrograde on that same day. Now, the whole month you can find yourself rallying for something that you believe very strongly in, that project, that organization, that relationship, right? Whatever it is, some sort of important cause. You're going to feel very excited, though. You're going to feel very excited about something new. There's something new that's coming in. Something is being created. You're creating it. You're bringing it to the forefront. It's very easy for you to get really fired up now, though, about issues that are very close to your heart this month. So if you're feeling very excited and passionate about rolling something out, and then somebody comes along and they're like, well, hey, maybe you should do it this way, or maybe it could be really, really frustrating for you in this energy for sure. Just make sure you sort of step back, temper that energy, right? Because your feelings are just going to be a lot more intense this whole month. Doesn't mean it's a bad thing. They're just going to be really intense. So you always want to just try to temper that. You're really anxious though this month. But it's like you're anxious for the good. You're anxious for the good start. You're anxious for the new beginning, the new cycle, the turning over the leaf energy. Just to really put things in motion, and you're so ready, willing, and able to invest your energy to move forward in something that's just going to be so fabulous for you. I have to tell you, I'm loving this energy for you. I'm not kidding. Like, especially anything having to do with career launching projects, anything like that. There can be obstacles along the way, and the need to wait for more information is real until the 18th. Because keep in mind, let me see, I have your chart over here. So if you see, yeah, so now, yeah, so let's see, where is Neptune in your chart? Boo, boo, boo. Okay, yeah, so it's in your fourth house. So Neptune's in your fourth. Lack of clarity when it comes to your feeling very emotionally grounded in anything right now. That Neptunian energy is there. It's very smoke and mirrors. It's very where you're not sure, is this for my highest good or is it not for my highest good? Do these people have my back or don't they? If you're in that space of wondering that, having to do with your friends or associations as you're trying to launch something, don't worry about it. They're good. It's all good, but don't worry. Like there's going to be this feeling of, I'm not sure. So just wait it out. Now, new ideas are going to be popping for you, but they're not going to be very easy for you to actually roll out and put in motion. Not yet. Fortunately, those ideas, I feel like that end up making it through any sort of resistance that you have. So I see you having a lot of ideas that you want to present, either within a relationship, within some sort of creative endeavor, something within your career, something within a family situation, but they're not all going to be accepted. But not all, but some of them will. And the ones that are going to be accepted are going to not only be solid, but also bring a lot of success. So there might be a little trial and error, particularly if you're working things out with other people, which, so much activity in that 11th house, you're definitely working with other people. Now, this energy can also bring back an old problem to your attention. And it's really smart for you to watch out your tendency to misconstrue a situation or put a lot of energy into something that you're likely going to change your mind about later anyway. So if it's a big deal, try not to say definitely yes, definitely no, definitely anything. I would say until, if not the very end of October, beginning of November. You really want to wait till Mercury comes out of that post shadow, but you do need time to sort something out and you should take it. So if you feel like you're in this situation where it's like, you need to decide now, Sagittarius, you're like, okay, you know what? I really do need a couple of days to think about this. If you're feeling that, take it, right? Conversations begin to open up finally as the end of the month, sort of winds down, and you stand to either make some sort of new connection that lasts a really long time, or the energy is really beautiful to enhance a current connection that you have. Now, that could be having to do with romance. It could have to do with friendships or even some sort of business situation, which is really nice. Projects gain some momentum. Your social life is popping, like I told you. And it's, for the most part, everything's going to be going your way in that area. There may be a reality check or a strong reminder of your need to be a lot more focused in your day-to-day, having to do with responsibilities, showing up in your relationships, showing up in just the day-to-day responsibilities and going ons of your life. Like, you could easily find yourself very sort of wrapped up in the idea of trying to make this thing roll out, or this thing manifest, having to do with your career or relationships, where you're ignoring another part of your life, and you just want to make sure that there's a lot of balance there. Try your very best not to procrastinate. Not a good energy to procrastinate in. And others might reinforce or supplement your ideas in some sort of really great way. So this is beautiful if you're trying to launch something and you're dealing with all these other people in the 11th house, where any sort of like group think, any sort of like problem solving, troubleshooting, anything like that, it's going to end up going really, really nice. There's so much energy here having to do with connection and mingling and chattering and, networking and busy bee stuff. I like this. Learning with study groups can be very beneficial. Again, anything having to do with groups where you guys are coming together to discuss something, really nice energy. The motivation to pursue your personal interests increases, and you might end up returning to a project or a dream or something that you ended up leaving in the dust in the past. Like, oh, I'll get back to this at another time. Some of you may be going back to finish that book, going back and revisiting that project that you started, something like that. Maybe a line of study that you were at one time studying, which is really nice. And finally, the full moon on the 20th, this is going to pull your attention to personal or independent creative projects, as well as romance, right? That 5th house energy. So there could be a romantic revelation having to do with your personal life, or having to do with projects that deserve some attention right now. Your feelings are very on the surface, very hard to ignore. A lot of epiphanies are going to be going on for a lot of Sagittarians here, having to do with where you find your joy, what makes you happy. It's going to be very important for you right now. What makes you happy? Doing what and with whom, and it's a good time to celebrate your feelings. Although tensions can be very, very strong right now, they can be strong, but it's all to point you in a particular direction. So that is what I have in the way of astrology. I know it was kind of like a lot for you guys right now, but there was a lot to talk about, and there always is as we start to roll down anyone who is getting ready to leave the position of being the south node of the moon. So first spread up, as I mentioned before, is going to be for money or career. So this could be for anything in your life where there's money identified. So this could have to do with anything, either 2nd house, which is the money that you make from the work that you do, your career, or 8th house, money coming in from someone else, your partner's money, an insurance settlement, an inheritance, having to do with retirement, the stock market, investments, buying a home, selling a home, anything like that. So let's see what comes up. Oh, we're starting with the beautiful sun. Awesome. Very nice. Crossed by the Fool. Okay. Okay. We'll pull more cards on that moon energy that's coming up. So I'm going to pull this down and so you guys could see the cards here. Okay, so we're starting off here with the sun. So the sun really is beautiful energy to get having to do with anything regarding career or money, because this means success in a position through which you can make more money is coming to you. You're getting a lot of deserved acknowledgement. This is just an energy of success, right? This is where you're at right now. But what is your current challenge regarding this success is the Fool. So the Fool, this tells me, like, first of all, you want to make sure that you're staying very realistic about something, first of all. But secondly, because this is, the Fool is in a Uranus energy, which is about, moving forward, fresh path, taking a calculated risk. The challenge here is being able to move forward. So you might be experiencing some sort of delay here, when you want to make sure that you're not dealing with anything. How do I want to say this? Not that it's not really good, but again, you want to make sure that you're keeping reality in check as far as where a project can go or what can actually happen having to do with this financial situation. You want to keep your feet based in reality. Now, the star energy coming into this, which is really nice, having to do with money luck, right? This indicates that work you do begins to pay off, where you've considered your long-term goals, you've prioritized well, you put yourself out there, you're taking chances. Now, a lot of you in the recent past, you may have been guided to begin a new business, or you discovered some sort of hidden talent that you wanted to put to good use that was going to make you money, or some sort of project that you wanted to get out there and launch. But this can also show you getting recognition and some of you awards, some of you fame, even depending on, what your situation is. So all really, really positive, but this Fool energy is your challenge. You just want to make sure that you're keeping everything within perspective. Now we have the Seven of Swords. So the Seven of Swords is the basis of the situation where, there's an energy here that you're needing to look at. Now, this can manifest in two different ways, I'm feeling, because this is a Moon in Aquarius energy. This can show up as Moon is your emotions, and Aquarius represents doing things different than what I'm showing you. So you may be feeling certain things privately having to do with a career or money situation that you're really not disclosing, where you're showing up like you're going along with everything, but there's something underneath the surface that you're not quite sure how you feel about something. So you might be wearing a little bit of a mask in the situation. You don't want to bite your nose off to spite your face, but you're trying to figure things out. You're trying to gather information. Many of you are going to be in that space. Others of you may be literally dealing with somebody who is dishonest, who's immoral, who's running away from the responsibility of handling something in a responsible way, where they have an issue with boundaries, or there could even be some selfishness involved here. As the basis of the situation, you're very mindful of this. Now, this could push you into a mindset where you kind of step back and all right, maybe I need to do things differently. Maybe I need to go on a different path. Maybe I need to handle this very, very differently right now. I need to step back and problem solve, right? Because the Hermit energy is Virgo, and Virgo's all about problem solving. So trying to look at something from a different perspective, right? And now the energy that Spirit is sending as a recommended approach is the Hangman, and the Hangman is pressing the pause button to gain some wisdom. Rest everything for a moment, look at everything. Remember, though, the Hangman is Neptune, and Neptune is a tricky energy because it's very smoke and mirrors. We don't always know what's real, what's not real in a Neptune energy. So, really looking at the situation and saying, okay, if I agree with this contract, or if I agree to take this job, or if I continue in what I'm doing, am I going to end up martyring what I really want to happen? Am I going to end up sacrificing what I really want? This is a very sacrificial energy. So Spirit really wants you to look at, is there something going on with this current situation that you're involved in, whether it's career or money, where you feel like you may end up having to sacrifice what it is that you really want? You need to pay attention to that. Now, what's interesting here is the external energy to you is the Six of Pentacles. Now, the Six of Pentacles shows up for some of you as property. Now, this is external to you. So you may be dealing with somebody regarding the buying of a property, selling of a property. This could have to do with some sort of financial connection within family, such as an inheritance. This can also indicate for many of you generosity and support. So someone investing in your business, investing in a project, something like that, right? But this does indicate someone really wants to help you improve financially. Somebody wants to come in and support you. And this is coming in external from you. But your psychological challenge is this Ace of Wands, which is very interesting to me, because this is your psychological block, and the Ace of Wands is all about this brand new start of creativity, of passion, of motivation. But I feel like, Sag, I feel like there's something going on here where this may be your block because the offer is not coming in any sort of solidified way where you feel comfortable to engage with it. Some of you are going to be understanding it like that. Others of you are just like, I'm not sure. I need to step back and really think about if I want to be involved in this way. So it's not that you don't want the beginning. You certainly want the beginning, but there might be something about it that you have to really, really think through. Now, we have the Page of Swords in the near future. So some sort of information is coming into you, right? Some sort of useful information is coming in, and you're going to be getting help from people around you to further whatever ambition this is. So this could be a contract, an agreement, anything where there's some sort of conclusion to something, and it's going to help to push yourself up. It's going to help push you forward. But now, while you're in this, I really want you to be the Page of Sword energy, which is really focusing on your intelligence and focusing on the truth of the situation. What does that mean? It's not to say that anybody's lying to you, but focus on the facts that are being presented. People are wanting to help you. It could be a very exciting vibe, but you want to make sure that everybody's walk matches their talk. Okay? Everybody's walk matches their talk, because at the end of the day, we have the moon here as the final outcome energy. So you might achieve some sort of goal, but you're in this space where you're like, I don't know, is this worth it, right? Where emotions are running high. You might feel like you need to protect yourself from other people's negativity or other people's drama at this point. Even if money matters is stable, you might be like, I don't know, is it worth the money? Is it worth what I'm doing here, right? I mean, so you can end up experiencing some sort of crisis of faith that goes on here. Okay, so we have the Four of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, Magician, Temperance, Seven of Cups, Eight of Cups, Three of Cups, Page of Cups, yeah. Yeah, so I feel like there's going to be a little bit of wonkiness before things go straight. Four of Wands is great. I mean, this is really about, very creative card, first of all. Very strong foundation, success after completion, very celebratory vibe. And your talent and what you bring to the table, whatever you offer to this person who wants to be in business with you, or the situation, or whatever you're bringing to the situation, is very much appreciated here, right? It really is. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles. So Knight of Pentacles really is about focusing on prosperity, moving your life forward. This is about financial growth, really great investments, busy time, pushing out some sort of new venture. This could indicate you partnering up with people and it going really, really well. We have the Magician, which is straight up Mercury. Mercury is Gemini, rules Gemini and Virgo. So there could be some sort of really good communication of problem solving, right? Because Virgo is all about problem solving and Gemini is about communication. Gemini also represents signing things on the dotted line. So, and because the Temperance energy is clarifying this, I feel like whatever energies have been a little wonky, whatever's been sort of up in the air, right? Whoever's been having a hard time committing to something, right? With the Seven of Cups energy, not sure how they feel, not sure what's real, what's not, feeling like you might feel like somebody's having this hard time committing, like it's a yes, no kind of thing. You could be like, what's the problem? Let's just, and you might even be having a hard time committing to something because things feel up in the air. Things feel up in the air, but I feel like that's going to be tempered here, right? With the Temperance energy is there might need to be an exercise of empathy, of patient cooperation. Somebody might be feeling very either sensitive or very aggressive, maybe a little bit of both at the same time. And there just needs to be this tempering of energies, which is completely possible, and things then getting better, right? Now we have this Eight of Cups. It's clarifying the Seven of Cups. So The Seven of Cups being this issue of having a hard time committing to something, like a firm yes or no. Clarifying that is the Eight of Cups, recognizing, detaching from what doesn't feel right, right? There's confusion is never for no reason at all, right? So there's got to be this identification of what is creating the confusion. Who's creating the confusion? What's the problem? Dealing with the problem and walking away from that. As a result of that, though, we have the Three of Cups energy, which is a very celebratory energy. It's a very supportive energy. And this is also a card of creation. So you're able to now move into a space of creation, and clarifying that is the beautiful Page of Cups. So this is some sort of good news coming in that is going to either speak to whatever project you're trying to launch, some sort of issue having to do with money, having to do with the family situation regarding money. But this is really good news coming in after finally figuring out what is the problem. What's the problem? What's the problem, Sag? That's going to be getting figured out. So, and then I like the outcome. So just be patient. It's not going to happen right away, but it does look like a good outcome for you. But that's the story for you guys having to do with career or money. Now let's talk about those of you in relationship, having to do with relationship. Okay. Okay. All right, I'll take that. We have the Five of Wands, which is conflict. Okay, there's a little challenge in balancing things out, but you guys just might not be seeing eye to eye. Five of Wands is nothing to lose sleep over. It's really sort of like, what I don't like about it, it's a bit of a scorekeeping energy. You know what I mean? You know what I mean by scorekeeping? It's like, you know, well, I paid for this. Well, I did that. Well, you did this. Well, you don't do that. And you know, it's that rivalrous kind of energy that shows up sometimes in relationship. So that's where you're at right now. Battle of the Wells, right? You're not able to have like a meeting of the minds here. And it's being challenged by the Lover's energy. Now, the Lover's energy is straight up about a choice, right? And what is the choice? The choice is recognizing that not everything is perfect. In numerology, this is the devil energy, which represents imbalance, right? So it's recognizing, okay, you know, we have stuff in the relationship. Okay, you know, let's work at it together, and we'll have the blessing of Archangel Raphael and the luminary of the sun to help us through this challenge, to help us balance it out. But everybody's got to be on the same page. And I feel like that is the current challenge for you, though, is being able to find that balance. And it could be a lot to do with fear, with ego. That is the natural energy that this Five of Wands card can end up manifesting. You know, it's this feeling very sort of dug in kind of thing, you know, very dug in kind of energy. Okay, so remember, guys, these are general messages, so you want to take what resonates, throw out the rest. Don't try to make it fit if it's not your reading. You know, you always want to check your rising sun, your moon sign, and your Venus sign for the most complete messages. Some months one will resonate far more than others will. All right, so we have coming into this energy in the recent past, we have the Chariot. So the Chariot is about this attempt to move away from the toxicity of whatever a situation is in a very expedited way, feeling very hell-bent on the fact that, all right, we're going to move forward in this particular way. But as you guys move forward, there is this conflict, and then there's going to be the strong desire to move away from the conflict. It's like, okay, I want to work it out. But then when you get there and you realize the rivalrous energy that is existing within this relationship, it's going to put you back on your heels a little bit. And you're going to be very in this Four of Cups energy as the basis of the situation. Now, again, because this is a relationship read, this could be you're feeling it, they're feeling it, or you're both feeling it. But the Four of Cups is feeling very restless and very disillusioned about something within the relationship, almost apathetic, in fact, like, "Ugh, I just, this is just never going to work out. It's always going to be a thing." But it's because of them, because they keep doing A, B, and C. Now, they could be saying that about you, and you could be saying that about them, right? It's very much like a checklist card. I can't be in this because of this, this, and this. And they're saying the same thing. But you both need to look at underneath that a little bit deeper. What is really happening? Is there fear? Is there insecurity? Is there a desire to control a situation? Is there fear of abandonment? Is there fear of finances? Is there, there's something underneath, however, something is being reacted to, right, in this energy. Now, right now, it seems like you're in the middle of a tower moment. Now, what does this mean, right? I mean, this is a Mars energy. And, it's also, the Chariot as well, right? It's like this need to sort of leave the toxicity behind, because the way something's been working up to this point is not working. Now, you could be having an internal tower moment, Sagittarius, or the person that you're dealing with can be, which is very healthy. That's recognizing if somebody's been really, I'm going to say dysfunctional, but like, not very agreeable, kind of toxic within the situation. This is them realizing it and realizing, hey, you know what? If I keep doing what I did, I'm going to keep getting what I got. And I have to realize I need to make some changes. So some of you may be realizing it that way for yourself, or your partner may be realizing this. But for a lot of you, this can be a necessary surrender of the relationship, because the way that it's been working, it's not meant for you for the long term. It's just not meant for you for the long term. And that's kind of where you're at. It's like, that's it, I'm done. And the reason I'm saying it like that, and I don't mean to be silly, but the recommended approach to spirit is the Eight of Wands. And this is a very benefic energy when it comes to, if you're in a situation in love where there's a little issue and you guys maybe aren't on the best speaking terms right now, this is really good communication coming in, is the recommendation from spirit. So it's like, all right, who's being silly? Who's being super, super entrenched in their ego right now? So the person that you're dealing with, they want to get back with you, right? This is the wheel. And the wheel is all about it. The wheel is a Jupiter energy about luck and expansion and wanting to, first of all, there's this recognition, we've reached a turning point. We can't keep doing this anymore. There is that recognition, but there is this also this willingness to take a chance, right? But who's to say if it's going to go one way or the other, because it's the wheel. The wheel is all about destiny. It depends. Are the bones of the relationship good? Are you dealing with the narcissist? I don't know. The cards don't know either. That's the tricky part about the wheel energy, but it does seem like somebody wants to take that chance with you. Somebody wants to try to fix something with you. Now we have in your personal block here, in your personal psychology, is the Hierophant, which is the marriage card. So some of you may be feeling either very blocked by the idea of getting married, or maybe by the idea that the person that you're with is still married, or you might be challenged by the responsibilities of marriage. All of these things can play out, because within the Hierophant energy is also this idea of expectations and the need to conform. And this works in numerology with temperance, right? The temperance card, which is about, meeting of the minds, right? Being able to find this new level of patient cooperation so that there could be some healing. Right? There could be some healing, but you can't have the healing without looking at the expectations and the need to conform. And that might be a real challenge for you right now. Like it's less that you don't want to be in the relationship, but you might not be completely on board right now with everything that's being asked of you, everything that's expected of you right now, whether it's financially, whether it's physically, whether it's emotionally. There's something I'm feeling where there's some sort of expectation where you're like, yeah, but I really don't want to do that. I'm not feeling too comfortable with that. Again, and it's not that you don't want to be in it, but you may not want to have to show up in the way that is being expected by the person that you're dealing with. Now we have 2 5s coming up. As these in the near future, we have the 5 of Pentacles. The final outcome, we have the 5 of Swords. So 5 of Pentacles is feeling like this lack of connection, the sense of missing. It's like the pain in the aftermath of a breakup, the pain of something not working out, and feeling this sense of this lack of connection. Even though you have a lot more support around you, this person feels so much more deeply than you're realizing right now. You really are. I mean, you're more supported than you realize right now. But at the end of the day, it really is a matter of there's something going on in this connection that's not aligning with what you really want. And you feel like you can't fix it because, and I'm not saying this where you don't think it's you. I don't think it's an ownership kind of thing, but the Five of Swords is sort of like saying, okay, what I really want to happen in this relationship is not the reality of what I want it to be. And what you're going to say, what I realize is that I can only change myself. I can't change this person I'm dealing with. I can't mitigate their stuff. I can only control myself. And the thing is, it's the kind of thing where no matter how much you guys communicate and no matter how heated it gets or how emotional it gets, nobody's coming off their mark in this energy. So you're much better off just sort of with grace, just saying, okay, I accept whatever disappointment this is, and just, walking away and leaving the situation at least for now, because, the communication, it's sort of pointless at this point because everybody's got to go through what they need to go through right now. It does seem like. And then that's going to lead into the Hangman energy. Again, this Neptune energy, feeling like, is this worth it? Is it not? Am I going to end up martyring myself if I stay in this? Is this really what I want at the end of the day? So I see you doing a little bit of stepping back for analysis and figuring out, okay, maybe you need to figure out a different approach to the situation. I need to figure out a different strategy because clearly what's going on here is really not working. Clarifying that, we have the Eight of Cups, and the Eight of Cups is about, with sadness but no regret, walking away. Because this is a Saturn and Pisces energy. It's like your Pisces, your dream. It's just too restricted. It's held back. You're in something where you're recognizing it's never going to be what it is that you saw in your mind's eye that it could be. And there's a sense of disappointment about that. Sadness, yes, but recognizing that this is what I have to do. I need to sort of pull back from this energy here. Clarifying that, we have the Ace of Wands. Now, some of you are going to be thinking about a new relationship. Some of you are going to just be thinking about a new, you may not be thinking about anyone in particular. It's just a new, like, I'm just going to go meet somebody new. This isn't working out, right? Some of you may be in that space. Others of you are very much wanting to get in front of the toxic energy that's happening within this relationship and have this new beginning with this person. But no matter how much you guys speak about it, it always ends up going back to the same space. It's like there's a story that's running through the narrative of this relationship. There's some idea that just keeps popping up, and maybe because it's not being handled completely in the first place. So we have the Ace of Wands, and that's being clarified by the Knight of Pentacles, which is interesting. I want to pull another card before I say anything about that. Okay. So the Knight of Pentacles can be this very clear identification that you feel like something's missing. So for a lot of you, you may be in the space where you want to try to meet somebody new. And you might even put yourself out there to meet somebody new, but everybody misses the mark. There's something missing. And it may be because your energy is still very entrenched in this relationship. Even though you had the Tower, and even though you have all of this other stuff, it's just unhealthy communication is really at the base of this problem, okay? For a lot of you. Because there is this like, oh, they're a nice person, but they're a little boring, or they really don't communicate well. They don't do A, B, and C, and feeling like something's missing, right? If you're trying to get into another relationship. Now, some of you may be in the space where it's like, I really want this new chapter of passion with my partner. I really do, but I can't ignore the fact that I feel like something's missing. something's missing. And you're wondering, you're in this space of wondering, does this have the strength to go the long term? The human condition is so funny, Sagittarius. Sometimes the person that we're with, they have everything that we really need. But because of competitive issues and this idea of one-upmanship and hurting each other's feelings, that can make us feel, right? I'm saying feel like this person is lacking things that they may actually possess, but maybe they're keeping those ideas sort of held back. Maybe they're back on their heels from you and you're back on your heels from them. And there's a lot of ego and there's a lot of fear and trepidation and competitiveness that's sort of creating these weeds in your relationship that are masking the beauty and the love behind something. We have the King of Pentacles, and King of Pentacles is an energy of generosity on the one hand, but greed on the other. The King of Pentacles has no patience for anyone who's looking to take what's his, so he can be very funny with his money. What do you mean? I paid for that. Now you pay for this, that kind of thing. Or it could be, I'm not changing. No, you're the one with the issue. I don't need to change. Look at yourself, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like not having that openness to look at, okay, wait, maybe I'm being a little unfair here. Or at the same time, this could be an energy where you're like, no, look, I feel like I have to protect myself, right? I'm not changing anymore. This is who I am. And this is my money that I really worked hard for. And you feel a little too comfortable coming in and trying to spend it. Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing. So it depends on which side of the fence you fall on. But this seems to be an energy that's an issue. And that's being clarified by the Seven of Cups, right? Now, keep in mind, I mean, there's a Scorpio energy, right? Venus and Scorpio. So there's some sort of change that's going on here. Commitment issues, confusion, things feel up in the air, not feeling really sure where everything is. But then we have that finally clarified by the Empress energy. She's the mother of the tarot. This is all about growth and expansion and being able to come together to create. So it does seem like there is going to end up being some sort of communication having to do though with, I mean, there's no question the idea of dishonesty is going to be addressed here. Somebody promised something that they fell back on. So maybe you promised something and you ended up not following through. They promised something they didn't follow through. Selfishness can be a play here, boundary breaking. You know, this desire to grow and expand, but you can't not see this idea. And it ends up making you feel very disillusioned and very disappointed and almost feeling like you're having an emotional crisis having to do with this relationship, you know, feeling very, very vulnerable as a result of this. But then we have the Star, which means things are getting better after a difficult time. Destiny is at play here, but there needs to be balancing out. There needs to be a balancing out and a different approach to something, right? A different approach as you move forward. The Star is an Aquarius energy. So now for some of you, if whatever project or whatever career or money situation you're working on that you're waiting to manifest, if money's been a problem or that thing has been the strain, that manifesting can end up helping to heal your relationship. So you getting that job or that financial payout, if money was an issue, that ends up being not an issue anymore, okay, for some of you. But for others of you, it's being able to just think more clearly about moving into the future. I just want to pull a random oracle. Milk and honey. Create your comfort. Milk and honey is about comfort and home. Unfinished symphony. One more. Serendipity. Everything is happening exactly the way it's supposed to happen. Kind of felt like that. So, because whenever we get the Star, there's a lot of destiny involved in that. It's kind of was feeling that. Okay. So that's what we have for those of you in a relationship. Looks like a little bit of a rocky road having to do with that. Oh my goodness, though, there's got to be this meeting of the minds when it comes to wherever you're feeling rivalrous within this relationship. It does seem like, Sag, you know, something seems very rivalrous. If you're resonating with it, I feel like you know exactly what I'm talking about. So let's see what's coming up for those of you in separation. I still feel deeply connected to you, but I won't admit it. It's always been you. I don't know how to tell you the truth. I want a new beginning. I have to be in contact with you again. I miss you too much. Okay. Let me drop the screen down. I should have done that before. Sorry about that. Just getting used to this new jam. By the way, I'm really sorry about like the lousy sound. I'm ordering a new microphone. I have it ordered. I'm a Gemini. I'm ruled by Mercury. I want to wait till Mercury comes out of retrograde. Where did I put that card here? Okay. Put it back underneath the. Yeah, so I'm gonna get the because I'm recording on something different, and I'm just using the volume from my Mac, and I know it's very tinny and annoying, and I apologize for that. But I want to wait until after the 18th to buy it. All right. Okay. Wow. Okay, I still feel deeply connected to you, but I won't admit it. And this is somebody who's just very comfortable being dishonest here. It does seem like, right? The Seven of Swords energy is that dishonesty and that running away from responsibilities of the relationship, having issues with boundaries, being selfish, all of that good stuff. And then that's being clarified though by Queen of Wands, really being in a space though where they want to step into their power now. It's very interesting. I just want to pull another energy on that. Let's see what's going on. Oh, they want to talk to you. Look at this. We get the Magician. Magician is Mercury. So, you know, maybe a little better when Mercury goes direct, like around the 18th, a little after that. But if you guys were together, actually, I'm a big fan of having deep relationship conversations about the past when Mercury's retrograde, because it's all about reassessing and reevaluating and revisiting, right? But it does seem like somebody is feeling very empowered to sort of speak their truth to you where maybe they weren't before. They won't admit it because, oh my gosh, somebody is a kind of emotionally immature here. I am getting, doesn't mean that they're not intelligent and fabulous, but emotionally maybe not completely mature. It's always been you. I don't know how to tell you the truth. I want a new beginning. That's being clarified by the Ten of Swords, which would indicate, sometimes we like the Ten of Swords because this can indicate an ending where there was a history here, and it's the ending and there's some sort of final release that's finally relieving that period of stress, of tension, of worry, of anxiety. At least that's over. Even if it's painful, at least it's over. So I feel like, there's this energy of them really working on themselves. The Eight of Coins is the Eight of Coins is all about mastery, throwing themselves into work, trying to figure things out. And finally, I have to be in contact with you again. I miss you. I miss you too much. And that's being clarified by the Nine of Wands. So they definitely still have fire in their belly for you, Sagittarius. They were in a strong position. They're really tired. They don't want to do the cyclical thing anymore. They do feel defensive. They're not in the best mindset right now. But they don't feel totally done. They don't. And then we have the Queen of Swords, but they're in this space of trying to figure out what you're thinking. It's trying to figure out your psychological motivation where you are. So it's almost this energy where it's like, no, you first. No, you. Like, oh no. Oh no. No, 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 no. That's never a good energy. You first. There's so much rivalry here, just in general in your relationships. Goodness gracious, Sag. This is for you. Express your joy. Build on solid ground. Nurture yourself first. Wasn't I saying that in the astrology too, right? I mean, you're really going to need to take a time out to actually make sure you do that. Really nurture yourself. You're going to feel so overwhelmed this month. So busy, overwhelmed. All right, let's pull a couple of qualifiers, the wisdom and the oracle here. Peace, express your joy and peace. Feel peaceful. Build on solid ground. And then we have thinker energy. So figure out what that actually even means to you. Thinker, right? Not acting a lot on, right? Really thinking things through, thinking about the reality of the situation. Nurture yourself first and do that first by breathing. It does seem like whatever is not working out here is still in a state of toxicity. I'm being straight with you. It's what I'm getting. Because there is still this energy of like one-upmanship, like I do this and then you do that, and that kind of thing. And that can end up being really unhealthy, So just find peace, think, breathe, think about everything. Just give yourself a little bit of room. They're not ready to engage in a very healthy way, but you are still very in their energy. So I would do a little wait and see what the end of October brings. See what the end of October brings, but focus on yourself. Take care of yourself right now for sure. All right, my friends, that is what I have for you. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. You guys have a beautiful week, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.